My palms were sweating as I stepped into the glittering grand hall. Chandeliers sparkled overhead, illuminating hundreds of elegantly dressed guests mingling gracefully. Tonight was supposed to be magical, a celebration of Alex's promotion at the prestigious law firm where he worked. I'd spent hours carefully selecting my dress, a simple navy gown that hugged my figure gently, hoping to make him proud. Yet as I scanned the crowd anxiously, insecurity crept in. Everyone around me radiated wealth and elegance, making my simple appearance feel embarrassingly inadequate. Alex spotted me from across the room, confidently approaching with his usual dazzling smile. His perfectly styled chestnut hair and piercing gray eyes had always captivated me, but tonight his expression felt unusually critical. "Sophia," he said smoothly, glancing briefly at my dress, his eyes narrowing slightly, "did you really think wearing that would impress anyone here?" My breath hitched painfully, heat rising sharply to my cheeks. I thought you liked this dress," I whispered, embarrassment sinking deep into my stomach. He chuckled bitterly, louder than necessary, turning heads nearby. "I expected better. You can't be serious? Look around you. You don't belong here, not dressed like this." My eyes burned painfully, humiliation flooding me as whispers rippled through the guests. I wanted desperately to vanish, escape the cold scrutiny, and disappear. "Alex, please don't do this," I pleaded softly, voice shaking slightly, eyes stinging with tears I refused to let fall. But his cold smile deepened cruelly. "Sophia, stop embarrassing yourself. Everyone can see you're not good enough. Just accept it." His words sliced deeply, echoing clearly in the shocked silence that surrounded us as he turned his back dismissively. Joining the crowd as though nothing had happened, I stood frozen, publicly shattered, heart aching with humiliation and betrayal. But even amidst my pain, a fierce determination sparked within me. Someday I would make Alex regret every word. I rushed blindly out of the hall, tears blurring my vision as humiliation burned through my veins. My chest tightened painfully as the cold night air wrapped around me, offering little comfort. I found myself outside, leaning against the marble column near the grand entrance, struggling to catch my breath as tears streamed silently down my cheeks. "Sophia." A gentle voice suddenly broke through my haze, warm with concern. I turned sharply, startled to see Ethan, Alex's longtime friend, watching me cautiously. His soft, dark brown eyes studied me carefully, kindness etched across his features. "Ethan, please just leave me alone," I whispered, desperately trying to hide my embarrassment, wiping tears from my face. Instead of leaving, he stepped closer, carefully respectful but insistent. "I saw what happened. Alex was wrong, Sophia. He had no right to treat you like that." I looked away, swallowing hard, shame burning my cheeks. "But he was right, wasn't he? I don't belong here. I'm nothing like them." "No, Sophia," Ethan corrected softly, his voice steady. "You're more than good enough. You always have been." His sincerity broke through my defenses, softening the raw edges of my pain. Still, doubt clouded my heart. "Maybe I deserve this," I muttered bitterly. "I'm just not enough. Not beautiful enough, not sophisticated enough." Ethan sighed softly, placing a gentle hand on my shoulder, his warmth surprisingly comforting. "Sophia, real beauty has nothing to do with how expensive your dress is or what anyone else thinks. It's something deeper, something Alex never understood." My heart clenched at his words, wanting desperately to believe him, yet struggling beneath the weight of Alex's cruelty. Ethan seemed to sense my hesitation, gently squeezing my shoulder, voice steady and supportive. "Let me help you, Sophia," Ethan said earnestly, eyes warm and sincere. "Not for Alex, not for anyone else, for you." I met his gaze finally, recognizing genuine care and compassion I'd rarely seen in anyone before. My heartbeat slowed, the chaos inside me calming slightly. Could I trust him? Could I trust myself? "Why would you help me?" I whispered, uncertainty flickering painfully through my voice. "Because I believe in you," Ethan replied simply, his eyes unwavering. "And because you deserve to see yourself clearly, beautiful, strong, worthy." Emotion clogged my throat, tears spilling freely again, but this time from gratitude, not pain. Ethan's words felt like a lifeline in a moment when I'd never felt so lost. Taking a deep breath, I finally nodded, accepting the hand he'd extended. It was terrifying, uncertain. But suddenly, hope flickered gently inside my heart, lighting a path forward I hadn't believed existed. Yet, even as warmth and determination replaced the humiliation from moments before, anxiety whispered softly within me. Could I truly transform, or would Alex's cruel judgment forever control how I saw myself? The mirror reflected someone I barely recognized. My blonde hair cascaded down my shoulders in soft waves, catching the subtle glow from the salon lights. My green eyes, which had so often stared back at me filled with doubt, now seemed brighter, bolder, sparkling with new confidence. Ethan stood behind me, carefully adjusting the final details of my transformation. "Wow," I murmured, reaching hesitantly toward my reflection, touching my face gently as though verifying its reality. "Is this really me?" Ethan smiled warmly, his soft brown eyes shining proudly. "This has always been you, Sophia. I only helped bring it out." My eyes flickered with gratitude toward him. Ethan had become more than just a stylist. He was my anchor, guiding me through a journey toward confidence I'd never known possible. Yet insecurity still lingered at the edge of my thoughts. "Do you really think this changes anything?" I asked quietly, anxiety creeping back slightly. "Will people see past how I used to be?" He stepped closer, his voice gentle yet firm. "Sophia, you were never the problem. Alex was blind. He didn't see your true worth because he only cared about superficial things." His words resonated deeply, soothing the lingering hurt Alex had planted inside me. Ethan had become more than a friend. He was becoming my strength, my reminder of what genuine support looked like. Just then my phone buzzed, startling both of us. Mia's name flashed brightly on my screen, and I quickly answered. "Sophia." Mia's enthusiastic voice filled the room immediately. "You're coming tonight, right?" "Tonight." I hesitated, nerves fluttering again. "The charity gala, remember? Alex will be there too. It's your chance to show everyone, including yourself, just how far you've come." My heart skipped uncomfortably at the thought of facing Alex again. Ethan noticed instantly, his eyes filling with quiet reassurance. "You don't have to prove anything to Alex, Sophia," Ethan reminded softly, sensing my hesitation. "But if you go, do it for yourself, not for him." I exhaled shakily, finally nodding with growing determination. "You're right. It's time." Hours later, stepping confidently into the elegant ballroom, my heart raced wildly. Dressed in a breathtaking emerald gown Ethan had chosen for me, I felt empowered yet vulnerable. Curious glances followed me, whispers filling the air. Nervously, I scanned the room, immediately locking eyes with Alex across the crowd. His icy gray eyes widened sharply in surprise, disbelief clearly etched on his features. Satisfaction and fear surged simultaneously inside me. But before Alex could approach, Ethan appeared quietly beside me, gently offering his arm, voice low yet reassuring. "Are you ready, Sophia?" Taking Ethan's arm firmly, I straightened my posture, newfound confidence replacing fear. "I am now." Yet even as I stepped forward bravely, Alex's stunned expression burned vividly in my mind, reigniting questions deep within me. Would tonight finally free me from his judgment or reopen wounds that hadn't yet fully healed? As I moved gracefully through the crowd, whispers buzzed around me like electricity, each word lifting my confidence higher. Ethan's hand rested reassuringly on mine, a constant reminder I wasn't alone. Yet my heart skipped anxiously as I saw Alex pushing his way toward us, eyes fixed on me with an intensity I'd never seen before. "Sophia," Alex stammered, clearly stunned as he finally stood before me. His gray eyes traveled slowly from my elegantly styled blonde hair down to the emerald gown that highlighted my figure. "You look incredible." I raised an eyebrow coolly, keeping my voice steady despite the racing of my heart. "Surprised?" "Very," Alex admitted, a flush rising across his pale face. "I barely recognized you." "You made sure I'd never forget you," I replied, keeping my tone controlled, refusing to show the hurt still lingering within me. Alex swallowed nervously, regret clouding his expression. "Sophia, about what I said, I was wrong. You've changed so much." "I haven't changed," I corrected firmly. I'm finally who I've always been. It's you who couldn't see clearly. Alex opened his mouth to respond but stopped abruptly, noticing Ethan's protective stance. His gaze flickered with jealousy, suspicion darkening his features. Ethan, are you two together now? Ethan remained calm, his presence steadying me. I'm here because I believe in Sophia. She deserves respect. Alex's eyes narrowed bitterly, jealousy flashing dangerously. Respect? Trysting. Coming from you, Ethan, I'd expected better taste. Tension thickened palpably between them. Anxiety surged sharply in my chest. Alex, don't do this here. But Alex ignored me, glaring accusingly at Ethan. So all this confidence, it's just your creation, isn't it? Tell me, Ethan, did you feel sorry for her, or did you see an easy conquest? My stomach twisted painfully at his cruel insinuation. Ethan's jaw tightened protectively, eyes blazing with anger yet controlled when he spoke again. You're projecting, Alex, Ethan said calmly but firmly. You mistreated her, and now you're afraid she's finally realized how much better she deserves. Alex stepped back sharply, embarrassed, anger simmering just beneath his composure. We'll see about that, he muttered coldly before retreating hastily into the crowd. Ethan turned quickly toward me, concern evident in his eyes. Sophia, are you all right? I think so, I whispered, voice trembling slightly. But what if Alex is right? What if all this confidence is just an illusion you've given me? Ethan cupped my face gently, forcing me to meet his earnest gaze. Sophia, this confidence was always yours. Don't let his bitterness steal it back. But even as Ethan spoke, uncertainty flickered deeply inside me, Alex's cruel words echoing relentlessly. Could I truly trust the woman I'd become, or would Alex's words unravel everything Ethan had helped me rebuild? Days turned into weeks, each one filled with Ethan's gentle encouragement and unwavering support. Our bond deepened, becoming something I treasured more than I dared to admit. But even amid these bright moments, Alex's shadow lingered stubbornly, darkening the edges of my happiness. One afternoon, while browsing aimlessly through social media, a notification jolted my heart painfully. Alex had shared a series of photographs from a recent extravagant vacation, surrounded by beautiful women, laughter on his lips, each photo radiating confidence and wealth. My stomach twisted uncomfortably. The cruel whisper of his previous humiliation threatened to creep back into my mind, reminding me of all the things he had made me believe I lacked. A soft knock interrupted my spiraling thoughts. Ethan stood in the doorway, his warm brown eyes instantly noticing my distress. What's wrong, Sophia? He asked gently, stepping toward me. I hesitated, embarrassment coloring my cheeks. It's Alex. He posted pictures. Ethan's eyes darkened slightly, protective but patient. You still let him affect you? I sighed, frustration creeping into my voice. I wish I didn't, Ethan. But every time I think I've healed, he finds a way back into my head. What if he's right and I'll never truly belong? Ethan moved closer, taking my hands gently into his, warmth radiating instantly through my body. Sophia, Alex's judgments reflect his own insecurities, not your worth. Don't measure yourself by his broken standards. But what if everyone sees what he sees? I whispered, vulnerability piercing my voice. What if beneath all this confidence, I'm still the girl he humiliated? Look at me, Ethan urged softly, his gaze fiercely protective. You're brave, beautiful, and strong. Not because anyone gave that to you, but because it's who you've always been. Alex was blind, but I see you clearly. My eyes filled with tears. Gratitude mingling with lingering doubt. Ethan cupped my cheek gently, softly wiping away a stray tear with his thumb. The tenderness in his touch left me breathless, heart pounding painfully fast. Before I could reply, my phone buzzed sharply on the table. Ethan hesitated, noticing my conflicted expression. Who is it? He asked quietly, sensing my sudden anxiety. Glancing down, my pulse raced sharply at Alex's unexpected message. Sophia, please give me another chance. Let me make things right. Meet me tomorrow, alone. My chest tightened, torn once again between past and present, doubt and strength. Ethan watched me silently, worry and anticipation etched into his features. Would facing Alex alone finally free me from his shadow? Or lead me straight back into the pain I'd fought so hard to escape? My heart raced as I approached the quiet cafe Alex had chosen for our meeting. The familiar scent of coffee and pastries drifted gently toward me, a comforting contrast to the anxiety twisting painfully in my stomach. Through the window, I spotted Alex waiting, dressed impeccably as always, his gray eyes anxiously scanning every face that passed by. Taking a deep breath, I entered, immediately drawing his attention. His expression shifted quickly from worry to stunned admiration, eyes openly roaming over my emerald blouse and neatly styled blonde hair. Clearly impressed by the transformation he'd never expected. "Sophia," Alex stood nervously, awkwardly pulling out a chair for me. "Thank you for coming." "I came because I needed closure," I replied calmly, holding on to the confidence Ethan had so patiently nurtured within me. "Not because I'm willing to go backward." Alex flinched slightly but quickly recovered, reaching across the table impulsively for my hand. "Sophia, I was foolish, selfish. I never meant those terrible things I said. Please forgive me." His sincerity caught me off guard, stirring unwanted memories. I gently withdrew my hand from his grasp, voice trembling slightly. "It doesn't erase what you did, Alex. You humiliated me, publicly, cruelly." "I know," he admitted quietly, eyes remorseful. "And I hate myself for it. I was superficial and blind. Losing you made me realize just how empty my life really is." I sighed deeply, battling conflicted feelings. Part of me, the wounded part, felt a quiet satisfaction at his remorse. Yet another part feared his words were simply another manipulation, a carefully crafted trap. Suddenly, Alex leaned forward, vulnerability clear in his gaze. "Please give me another chance, Sophia. Let me prove I've changed." I hesitated, heart aching from his sincerity. Before I could respond, my phone vibrated softly against the table. Ethan's name illuminated the screen, a gentle reminder of the trust and kindness he'd shown me. Alex noticed my hesitation, bitterness flickering across his expression. "Ethan, isn't it?" "Sophia, don't tell me he's the reason you're refusing me now." I straightened sharply, clarity crystallizing instantly within me. "Ethan isn't the reason I'm saying no, Alex, you are. You shattered something precious in me, something Ethan helped rebuild." Alex's jaw tightened visibly. "You really think Ethan sees the real you? He'll leave too, Sophia. Just wait." My chest tightened painfully at his cruel warning, doubt briefly resurfacing. Yet Ethan's words echoed clearly in my mind, overpowering Alex's bitterness. "You are always enough, Sophia." Rising firmly, I met Alex's gaze one last time, voice clear and strong. "Goodbye, Alex." As I stepped out of the cafe, leaving him behind, relief mixed with lingering pain, but even as I walked confidently away, one question haunted me quietly. Could I truly move forward with Ethan? Or had Alex's venom planted seeds of doubt that would soon grow into something I couldn't control? Stepping out of the cafe, my heart pounded loudly in my chest, each beat echoing painfully. The fresh air rushed around me, but I barely felt its coolness on my flushed skin. Alex's bitter words still stung, leaving a lingering ache that seeped into my thoughts. Echoing doubts I'd fought so hard to silence. I wandered aimlessly down the bustling street, ignoring curious glances from passers-by, lost in a whirlwind of confusion. Alex's warning replayed cruelly in my mind, poisoning the fragile confidence I had nurtured. Could Ethan, with all his sincerity and kindness, eventually hurt me too? Was I foolish to think someone like him could truly see value beyond appearances? My phone vibrated again, jolting me out of my spiraling thoughts. Ethan's photo illuminated the screen, his smile brightening even the darkest corners of my doubt. My heart tugged, wanting to answer, yet fear held me back. Instead, I silenced the phone, stuffing it deep into my handbag, needing space to clear my mind before facing him again. The rest of the day slipped by in restless solitude. By evening, anxiety became unbearable, driving me toward Ethan's familiar doorstep. The lights inside his cozy apartment glowed softly through the window, offering warmth and comfort. I hesitated at the door, heart racing, unsure whether to knock or retreat. But before I could choose, Ethan opened the door gently, his calm brown eyes instantly recognizing my distress. "Sophia?" he asked softly, concern woven deeply into his tone. I was worried when you didn't answer. I'm sorry, I murmured, eyes downcast, ashamed of my doubts. I needed to think. He nodded understandingly, gently guiding me inside. His apartment felt safe, familiar, so different from the harsh world outside. Ethan led me toward the comfortable sofa, sitting beside me quietly, waiting patiently for me to speak. Taking a deep breath, I finally gathered the courage to share the turmoil I'd hidden inside. Alex said something today, something I can't get out of my head. Ethan's expression darkened slightly but remained gentle. What did he say, Sophia? He said that you'll leave me too, I confessed shakily, heart aching at admitting my vulnerability. That all you've seen is just temporary, that you'll eventually realize I'm not enough. Ethan's eyes widened briefly, hurt flashing openly in his gaze. But instead of pulling away, he reached tenderly for my hand, holding it firmly yet softly, anchoring me in warmth. Sophia, he whispered, voice thick with sincerity, you have always been enough. Alex said those things because he can't comprehend real beauty. Strength, courage, compassion. Those are things he doesn't understand, things you have always had. My breath caught painfully, tears burning hotly at the corners of my eyes. Ethan reached gently to cup my cheek, softly brushing tears away with tender fingers. You see this, he said gently, his voice filled with emotion. These tears aren't weakness. They're proof of your strength. Your honesty, your courage to feel deeply despite everything you've been through. Ethan, I whispered softly, meeting his gaze fully, heart beating painfully against my chest. Why have you stayed? Why are you still here after everything? He smiled softly, stepping closer, his voice barely above a whisper. Because I fell in love with you, not with your appearance or the confidence you gained, but with you, Sophia. Your heart, your vulnerability, your incredible strength. Nothing Alex said could ever change that. My heart soared at his words, warmth spreading gently through me, chasing away doubts lingering in dark corners of my mind. But uncertainty still flickered weakly inside, refusing to fade completely. You really love me? I asked hesitantly, eyes searching desperately for truth. With everything I have, Ethan assured softly, sincerity unmistakable in his deep, comforting eyes. And I'll keep proving it to you until you believe it yourself. Gently, slowly, he leaned forward, his lips brushing mine softly, tenderly. The kiss felt like a promise, a reassurance stronger than words, chasing away lingering shadows left behind by Alex's cruelty. My heart fluttered warmly, trusting in this moment, choosing to believe Ethan completely. But just as we pulled apart gently, the peace of our moment was abruptly shattered by the persistent buzzing of my phone. Ethan sighed lightly, reluctantly letting go as I checked the screen, anxiety flickering briefly within me again. An unexpected invitation flashed urgently, a prestigious charity gala, requesting my attendance as an honored guest. But the accompanying note made my pulse quicken sharply. We've heard of your recent transformation and would be honored if you accepted our invitation. Expect many eligible bachelors eager for your company. My heart tightened painfully. This gala was exactly the type of place Alex had humiliated me before. Now suddenly I was desired, celebrated. Was this redemption or another dangerous illusion? Ethan noticed my hesitation immediately, eyes filling with cautious curiosity. Sophia, what is it? I hesitated briefly before finally showing him the invitation, nervous uncertainty clear in my expression. Ethan's eyes narrowed slightly in concern, understanding the fears surfacing again. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Sophia, Ethan said gently, sensing the turmoil within me. But maybe this event isn't about proving yourself to them. Maybe it's about proving something to yourself. My heart raced at his suggestion, his unwavering belief pushing me toward courage. Yet beneath the bravery, one quiet fear lingered. Could stepping into the spotlight again heal my wounds completely, or would it reopen scars I thought had finally closed? The night of the gala arrived swiftly, anticipation mingling with anxiety inside my chest. Ethan had helped me prepare, choosing an elegant silver gown that shimmered softly, perfectly complementing my blonde hair and emerald eyes. Standing in front of the mirror, I barely recognized the confident woman staring back at me, but beneath the confidence, vulnerability quietly lingered. As I stepped through the grand entrance of the ballroom, The atmosphere instantly enveloped me. Sparkling chandeliers illuminated the opulent hall, soft music drifted through the air, and curious, admiring gazes turned toward me. A blush heated my cheeks, the attention overwhelming yet oddly satisfying. But my heart raced painfully when I saw Alex across the room. His grey eyes locked immediately onto mine, surprise and longing visible, mixing uncomfortably in his expression. Without hesitation, he moved quickly toward me, determination radiating from every step. "Sophia," he said, voice unsteady with emotion, "I didn't think you'd come." "I had something to prove to myself," I replied quietly, carefully guarding my voice. "This isn't about you, Alex. But seeing you here like this," he whispered, gaze trailing slowly down my gown, genuine regret filling his eyes. "I was a fool, Sophia. Please give me another chance." His voice cracked slightly, sincerity making my chest tighten uncomfortably. Before I could respond, Ethan stepped quietly beside me, his steady presence grounding my restless emotions. "Alex," Ethan greeted calmly, his tone firm yet controlled. Sophia's moved on. Alex's gaze darkened slightly with jealousy, bitterness returning to his voice. "Moved on, with you? Do you really think you deserve her any more than I do?" Tension surged palpably around us, drawing the attention of the guests nearby. My pulse quickened anxiously as both men faced off silently, their contrasting energies pulling me between them, Alex's desperate remorse versus Ethan's protective sincerity. Before the silence grew unbearable, Ethan spoke calmly but powerfully. "Sophia deserves someone who saw her value from the start, Alex. Someone who respects her deeply enough not to humiliate her for appearances." Alex flinched visibly, embarrassment coloring his face, eyes shifting toward me in silent appeal. I hesitated briefly, the room's attention pressing heavily upon me, heart aching from conflicting emotions. Finally, taking a deep breath, I met Alex's eyes firmly, voice clear yet gentle. "Alex, I can forgive you, but I won't forget. You taught me a painful lesson, but Ethan showed me what real love and respect looks like." Alex's expression fell sharply, wounded yet accepting. He nodded slowly, stepping back, defeated. Ethan turned toward me, eyes filled with quiet pride and warmth, gently taking my hand into his. But just as relief flooded me, confident I'd finally close this painful chapter, a sharp voice broke through the quiet crowd, Alex's final words echoing bitterly behind me as we turned away. "You think he'll always stay, Sophia?" Alex called out sharply, his voice etched with desperation. "Wait until he sees who you really are beneath all that glitter. He'll run just like I did." My breath caught sharply, doubt flickering dangerously within my heart again. Ethan gripped my hand tighter, his gaze gentle but deeply concerned as we walked away, leaving Alex's words hanging heavily behind us. Could I truly trust Ethan's love to withstand my lingering insecurities? Or would Alex's bitter prophecy become my painful reality? Alex's cruel warning echoed painfully in my ears, drowning out the soft hum of conversations around us. Anxiety twisted sharply inside my chest, eroding the fragile confidence I had carefully rebuilt. Ethan sensed my distress immediately, gently guiding me toward a quiet balcony away from prying eyes. Under the moonlight, cool air brushed softly against my skin, but my heart still hammered restlessly. Ethan gently placed his hands on my shoulders, guiding my gaze toward his calming brown eyes, voice soft yet steady. "Sophia, look at me," Ethan urged gently. "Don't listen to Alex. He's trying to tear you down again because he lost control over you. You're stronger than that now. But what if he's right?" My voice trembled, revealing the deep fears I couldn't seem to silence. "What if one day you see the real me, the insecure, broken girl beneath all this confidence, and decide I'm not worth it either?" Ethan stepped closer, cupping my face delicately, forcing my tearful green eyes to meet his unwavering gaze. "Sophia, I've already seen everything about you, your fears, your scars, your pain, and I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere." My breath shuddered softly, tears spilling openly now, relieved yet vulnerable. Ethan gently wiped them away, leaning in to whisper tenderly, reassuringly, "You're worthy. You always have been." His words resonated deep within me, warmth spreading steadily through my chest. Slowly, courage returned, clearing away lingering shadows Alex's words had cast. Just as we started to pull apart, the door opened sharply, the gala organizer stepping toward us anxiously. Sophia, forgive the interruption, but Alex is making a scene at the front. He's demanding you come immediately. Confusion and dread surged simultaneously. Ethan tightened his grip on my hand protectively, concern darkening his eyes. Sophia, you don't owe him anything. Yet determination sparked within me, replacing fear. I need to face this head-on, Ethan. If I don't confront him now, he'll always haunt me. Ethan hesitated briefly before nodding supportively, understanding clear in his expression. Hand in hand, we returned swiftly to the main hall where Alex stood, visibly distraught, his composure shattered completely. Sophia! Alex shouted desperately as he saw me approach. You can't leave me like this, not again. Whispers spread through the crowd instantly, attention sharply focused on our dramatic confrontation. Alex's gray eyes pleaded with painful desperation, yet anger rose inside me, anger at his audacity, his arrogance, his cruelty. You left me first, Alex, I reminded firmly, voice shaking yet strong. You mocked me, humiliated me, destroyed my self-worth in front of everyone. He flinched sharply, guilt shadowing his expression, finally forced to confront his actions openly. I was wrong. Please, Sophia, give me one more chance, I need you. You don't need me, I replied calmly but clearly, strength flooding my words. You need forgiveness and maybe you'll find it someday, but it won't be through me. Ethan stood silently beside me, steady, unwavering. Alex's gaze flickered toward him bitterly, voice trembling dangerously. You think Ethan really loves you? He only sees what you've become, not who you truly are. You're wrong, Ethan finally spoke firmly, stepping forward protectively, voice powerful yet gentle. I saw Sophia long before her transformation, back when you failed to see her worth. I've always seen her clearly, and I'll always choose her. His words resonated deeply within me, silencing the final whispers of doubt Alex had planted. Alex stared at us helplessly, realization dawning painfully across his face as the crowd watched breathlessly. Sophia, please, Alex whispered weakly, voice fading in defeat. But the decision had already settled firmly inside me. Taking Ethan's hand openly in mine, I faced Alex one final time, voice clear, unwavering. Goodbye, Alex. As Ethan gently guided me away, warmth spread softly inside my heart. Yet, despite this moment of triumph, a subtle unease lingered quietly beneath my newfound strength. Could Alex's humiliation tonight finally end this painful chapter? Or was it just the beginning of another storm I wasn't prepared to face? As Ethan and I stepped away from the lingering whispers and curious stares, I felt a quiet peace beginning to settle within me. The chaotic noise behind faded gently, replaced by the comforting warmth of Ethan's steady presence. We moved toward a secluded area near the balcony, beneath the stars that glittered softly, oblivious to the drama below. Turning to face him, I studied Ethan's gentle brown eyes carefully, feeling a tender ache blossom in my chest. Thank you, I whispered softly, sincerity trembling through my voice. You didn't have to defend me. Yes, I did, Ethan replied gently, his gaze deepening emotionally. Because I love you, Sophia. Protecting you isn't a choice, it's an instinct. His words wrapped around my heart, chasing away the last remnants of doubt Alex had planted inside me. I stepped closer, letting Ethan's strength wash over me, finally allowing myself to believe completely in the love shining clearly in his eyes. Ethan, I began softly, courage surging inside me, I don't think I could have survived any of this without you. You didn't just help me change my appearance. You helped me rediscover myself. He smiled gently, brushing a loose strand of my blonde hair softly behind my ear. You were always enough, Sophia. You just needed to see yourself clearly. In that moment, beneath the moonlight and stars, I finally accepted his words fully, understanding that real beauty and worth weren't measured by others' judgments, but by the sincerity of love and respect from those who truly mattered. Leaning forward gently, I pressed my lips softly against his, sealing our newfound understanding in a tender kiss filled with promise, trust, and genuine love. Ethan held me close, his touch gentle yet powerful, confirming silently all the words we'd shared. This wasn't just about overcoming Alex. It was about choosing myself and finally trusting love again. As we pulled apart slowly, Ethan's eyes sparkled softly, voice tender and full of warmth. Ready to go back inside? Everyone's probably wondering where the star of the evening disappeared to. Laughing lightly, I squeezed his hand firmly. I'm ready, but only if you're beside me. I always will be, Ethan whispered sincerely, his gaze promising forever. Together, we walked back into the glittering ballroom, confidence and love radiating warmly between us. Heads turned, whispers resumed, but this time they held no power over me. I walked proudly beside Ethan, no longer defined by Alex's humiliation, but by my own strength, resilience, and genuine love. In that instant, I realized with absolute clarity that Alex's cruel humiliation had never truly defined me. It had simply been the catalyst forcing me to discover who I'd always been beneath the surface. Beautiful, strong, and profoundly worthy. Finally free from the shadows of my past, I embraced the future confidently, ready for whatever came next. Knowing Ethan's unwavering love and my own newfound self-belief would carry me forward, unbreakable and whole.